Black holes, distant galaxies, alien worlds, space is full of mysteries. But what if the biggest mystery was right above our heads? Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing not one blazing sun, but two. A golden horizon where daylight never truly ends and sunsets stretch across the heavens twice as bright. This isn't just science fiction. In fact, most stars in our galaxy live as pairs, orbiting one another in a cosmic dance. Astronomers call them binary systems. And if Earth had been born in such a system, everything about our world would be different. The seasons, the climate, even the way life itself evolved. Would Earth be a paradise bathed in eternal light, or an uninhabitable furnace scorched beyond recognition? Could humans survive under two suns, or would our planet be torn apart by the chaos of their gravity? In this video, we're going to explore exactly what would happen if Earth had two suns. From double eclipses to endless days, from alien skies to the very limits of habitability, we'll uncover the science behind a world lit by two stars. So buckle up, because what you're about to discover is stranger, more dangerous, and far more fascinating than you might expect. When we think about the sun, it feels unique. Our single, brilliant star keeping Earth alive. But in reality, our solar system is the exception, not the rule. Out in the galaxy, most stars don't live alone. Instead, they come in pairs, or even groups of 3, 4, or more. Astronomers call these arrangements binary star systems. In fact, some estimates suggest that over half of all sun-like stars are part of a binary system. That means, statistically speaking, Earth should have been born with two suns, not just one. For scientists, this isn't a what-if fantasy, it's a serious field of research, because binary systems are everywhere and many of them have planets orbiting around both stars. These are called circumbinary planets, and we've already discovered several. Some even orbit in the so-called habitable zone, where liquid water could exist. So when we ask, what if Earth had two suns? We're not just imagining a wild sci-fi scenario, we're asking a very real scientific question. What would life look like on a world orbiting two stars? Would a planet like ours be stable or doomed from the start? And to answer that, we need to explore the different possible setups for Earth's two-sun system. Let's imagine the first possibility. Earth orbiting not one, but two nearly identical suns locked together in a close gravitational dance. At first, it might sound incredible, two brilliant stars lighting up the sky at once. But in practice, this would be a nightmare for our planet. With two blazing suns radiating heat and energy, Earth's surface would become a scorching furnace. Temperatures could rise far beyond survivable levels, oceans might boil away, and the atmosphere itself could be stripped over time. Daylight would be overwhelming. Nights, if they existed at all, would be short and dim, with only rare moments of true darkness when the stars eclipse one another. Imagine sunsets stretching endlessly across the sky, followed almost immediately by sunrise again. No time for ecosystems to rest, no stable cycle for life to follow. Even gravity would play tricks. With two suns pulling in slightly different directions, Earth's orbit could wobble chaotically. Seasons might become extreme and unpredictable, searing summers, freezing winters, or sudden catastrophic shifts. In short, a twin sun Earth would likely be too unstable and too hot to sustain anything like the life we know. If humans somehow existed there, survival would mean living underground or in artificial habitats shielded from the brutal glare of two stars. But not all double sun setups are this extreme. What if Earth orbited one main sun with a second smaller star much farther away? Now imagine a different setup. Earth still orbits a sun just like the one we know today, but far away, on the edges of the solar system, a smaller companion star shines faintly in the distance. This second sun might be a red dwarf, dimmer and cooler than our own star. Most of the time, it would look like a glowing, oversized star on the horizon, adding a reddish tint to our skies. But depending on where Earth was in its orbit, there could be periods when both suns rise together, creating strange double dawns, or when one sets just as the other rises, leaving the planet in a state of endless twilight. The climate in such a system would be unstable, but not instantly catastrophic. The extra radiation from the red dwarf could subtly alter Earth's atmosphere, changing weather patterns and even shifting the habitable regions of the planet. Instead of clear, predictable seasons, Earth might experience long cycles of warming and cooling tied to the complex gravitational pull of two stars. For life, this would be both a challenge and an opportunity. Plants would evolve under two different light sources, possibly adapting to both the golden light of our main sun and the deep red glow of the secondary star. Nights would rarely be truly dark, giving animals and humans a completely different rhythm of life. It wouldn't be paradise, but compared to the furnace of twin suns, a distant companion star might actually allow Earth to remain habitable, though very different from the world we know. Life on Earth is built around a simple rhythm: one sun, one day, one night. But under two suns, that rhythm would shatter. For plants, the change would be dramatic. Photosynthesis depends on stable cycles of light and darkness. With 2 stars, days could stretch endlessly, or nights might almost disappear. Some plants might grow explosively under constant sunlight, while others would wither without periods of rest. Evolution would favor strange, resilient species. Flora capable of thriving under dual light or even adapting to the reddish glow of a smaller second star. Animals, too, would evolve in alien ways. Predators that rely on darkness to hunt might vanish, while creatures with constant exposure to light could develop entirely new behaviors or even biological clocks tuned to cycles we can barely imagine. Humans, whose bodies are tied to circadian rhythms, would struggle to adapt. Endless daylight could disrupt sleep, alter hormones, and push societies to build artificial nights just to survive. The very concept of time would feel different. Days and nights would lose their meaning. Imagine growing up in a world where the stars dictate not just your seasons, but your biology, your culture, and even your sense of reality. In short, life would not just adapt, it would transform. And Earth, under 2 suns, would no longer resemble the blue planet we call home. 2 suns don't just mean extra light, they mean extra gravity. And gravity, more than anything else, decides whether a planet like Earth can survive. With 2 stars pulling in different directions, Earth's orbit would become unstable. Instead of the smooth, predictable path we know today, our planet could wobble chaotically, swinging closer to one star and then drifting towards the other. These shifts could trigger violent changes in climate, sudden ice ages, then scorching heat waves over and over again. Even worse, if the gravitational tug became too extreme, Earth might be flung completely out of the system, cast into the cold darkness of interstellar space. Or it could spiral inward, pulled toward one of the suns and consumed in fire. But not all of the consequences would be catastrophic. Some would be breathtaking. Imagine double eclipses, where one sun passes in front of the other, casting strange, layered shadows across the planet. Picture sunsets painted in 2 different colors, or twin dawns breaking the horizon minutes apart. The night sky would be transformed, with 2 brilliant stars dominating the heavens instead of one. For astronomers, it would be a spectacular but dangerous world, a delicate balance where a single shift in gravity could mean survival or destruction. If the idea of 2 suns sounds familiar, it's probably because you've seen it before. On the desert world of Tatooine in Star Wars, that iconic double sunset isn't just a piece of cinematic magic, it's inspired by real astronomy. Science fiction has long loved the concept of binary stars. From books to movies, artists imagine alien worlds where 2 suns dominate the sky, creating breathtaking landscapes and strange civilizations. And while it once seemed like pure fantasy, we now know such worlds truly exist. Astronomers have discovered dozens of circumbinary planets, real-life Tatooines orbiting twin stars. These discoveries prove that double-sun worlds aren't just possible, they're common. Some of them even lie within the habitable zone where liquid water and maybe even life could exist. This blending of science and imagination is what makes the idea so powerful. What George Lucas dreamed up on a movie screen has become a subject of real scientific research. And every time we spot a new planet in a binary system, it's a reminder that the line between science fiction and reality is thinner than we think. So, while Tatooine might be fictional, the truth is far stranger and far closer than Hollywood ever imagined. The most famous example of a real Tatooine is Kepler 16b, discovered in 2011. This planet orbits not 1, but 2 suns. A true circumbinary world. When astronomers confirmed it, the headlines wrote themselves, "Star Wars Planet Found." Kepler 16b is a gas giant, similar to Saturn and far too cold for life. But its discovery proved something groundbreaking. Planets can survive the complex dance of 2 stars. And once we found one, more began to appear. Since then, scientists have uncovered multiple circumbinary planets, worlds orbiting twin stars across the galaxy. Some are massive gas giants, while others are rocky and Earth-sized. A few even sit inside their system's habitable zones where conditions might allow liquid water. That means alien life could, in theory, exist under the light of 2 suns. The Kepler Space Telescope gave us the first glimpse, but today, missions like TESS and the James Webb Space Telescope are pushing this frontier even further. Every year, new discoveries remind us that binary systems are not rare exceptions. They're one of the most common homes for planets in the universe. So while Earth never had a second sun, countless other worlds do. And for some of them, the dream of living under twin skies might not be so impossible after all. So far, we've imagined Earth being born under 2 suns, but what if it happened suddenly? What if tomorrow, a second star appeared and locked itself into orbit with our sun? The results would be catastrophic. Almost instantly, the delicate balance of the solar system would collapse. Planets would be pulled into new orbits, smashing into each other or being flung out into the void. Earth's path around the sun would destabilize within weeks, throwing our climate into chaos. The skies would change overnight. We might see a brilliant second sun rising alongside the first, but but its gravitational pull would be far deadlier than its light. Tides would surge uncontrollably, seasons would vanish, and within a short time, Earth could either drift into the freezing darkness of space or spiral inward, consumed by fire. Even if, somehow, Earth managed to survive in orbit, life would not. The radiation levels from 2 stars would overwhelm our atmosphere, stripping it away and leaving the planet barren. Humanity's only hope would be to escape, seeking refuge on distant worlds or artificial space habitats. It's a chilling reminder. The fact that we orbit one stable sun is not just luck, it's the very reason we exist. 2 suns in the sky, it sounds beautiful, even magical. But as we've seen, the reality would be far more complex and far more dangerous. Twin suns close together would turn Earth into a furnace, stripping away oceans and atmosphere. A distant companion star might offer something more survivable, but even then, our world would be unpredictable. Our days and nights forever changed. For life, the impact would be profound. Plants and animals would evolve along entirely different paths. Human biology, culture, even the way we measure time would transform, and all of it would hang by a fragile balance of gravity. One misstep, and the entire planet could be thrown into chaos. Yet, while Earth escaped that fate, countless other worlds did not. Kepler 16b and other circumbinary planets prove that double sun systems are not science fiction. They are out there, waiting for us to study, to imagine, and maybe one day to visit. And that's what makes this question so fascinating. It isn't just what if, it's a window into the reality of our galaxy, a reminder that nature writes stranger stories than we ever could. So now, I'll leave the question to you. Would you choose to live under one calm, steady sun, or in a world lit by 2 chaotic suns, burning side by side in the sky? If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what we should cover in the next episode.